Today, we are talking about YouTube Shorts. People often ask if they should be using YouTube Shorts at all. They ask if people should be putting shorts on the same channels as long form content, all kinds of different questions and curiosities around YouTube Shorts. But today, we're going to be talking about why content creators should use YouTube Shorts as part of their strategy when it comes to YouTube. Now, with this information that I'm getting ready to share, you can apply this to channels that are publishing different types of content on the channel. So long form, shorts, and live streams. You can also do this if you are just have a shorts channel, or if you want to start another shorts channel for your brand or for your, for your accounts, so that you can also leverage this to bring more attention to what it is that you're doing. So today, like I mentioned, we are going to be talking about why YouTubers should use shorts. And I say YouTubers here, but it's because we're talking about a YouTube feature. But really, if you're a content creator on any platform, you are missing the boat if you are not uploading shorts to YouTube. So let's talk about why that is. So during the stream today, we're going to be talking about some stats related to YouTube Shorts that is important for you to know about. We are going to talk about YouTube pushing shorts, as I'm sure that you are very familiar with if you use YouTube in any capacity. We're going to be talking about how to leverage YouTube Shorts to your advantage, and we're going to be talking about shorts mistakes that can cost you money and growth when it comes to your YouTube channel. So to get into this, the very first thing that I want to talk about is the advantages of YouTube Shorts, which wasn't on that list, but I just wanted to squeeze this in here first before we get into everything else. So when it comes to the advantages of YouTube Shorts, of course, they're easier to make. So this doesn't apply 100% of the time, but it applies a lot of the time. So the way that most people approach making YouTube Shorts, they're just easier to make. So some people will do it to where they just grab their phone, they hit the button, and they just, make the short right there in one take, and then they get it up into YouTube and they get views. Other people will put a lot of effort into YouTube Shorts where they will spend lots and lots of time crafting what it is that they're doing. But most people can really put out shorts without much effort when you compare it to all of the effort that goes into long form content. In addition to that, you don't have to get people to click. So because of that, there's less skill required when it comes to YouTube Shorts. So when it comes to long form content on YouTube, and if you're one of those people to where you're getting views on your shorts, but you're not getting views on your long form, this is going to tell you why. So when it comes to long form content on YouTube, you have all of these additional things that you have to do. When it comes to YouTube Shorts, they just show up, right? They show up in somebody's feed, and they show up in all these different places of YouTube, but a lot of times they're just showing up in people's feeds, and people are making the decision on if they want to continue watching or not. And as a part of that, you just have to make a good short and be able to grab somebody's attention. The difference is when it comes to long form content, you have to come up with really good ideas that matter to people. You have to present those ideas through the titles and thumbnails in a way that helps people identify it's about something that they care about, and in a way that compels them to click. And then once they come into the video, you still have to do all the video stuff in terms of grabbing their attention, taking them through the video, maintaining their attention for the entire time. There's just a lot more involved when it comes to long form content. So when it comes to shorts, it's just a lot easier because you don't have to do all of those extra things. You don't have to get people to click. And because it's a shorter amount of time, you don't have to be as good at getting people to watch for longer periods of time. So it's just easier overall. In addition to that, because shorts are so fast to make and you can get them out there, and usually when you publish a short, it'll start getting some activity relatively quick. And because of that, you can get some really fast feedback, which can help you adjust in order to make your next short even better. And you can also link to long form content, where the big debate on YouTube is people are like, hey, should I be linking to my long form videos? Or, long form videos don't watch YouTube Shorts and those sorts of things. But you can absolutely link to your long form videos. And when it comes to long form viewers watching YouTube Shorts, they absolutely do. You can actually see this in your own Creator Studio. If you go into your audience tab on YouTube, it'll show you the different formats of content that people watch on YouTube. It'll show you live streams, it'll show you regular long form, and it'll show you shorts. So if you want to see if your viewers, even if you don't make shorts yet, if you want to see if your viewers are also watching shorts, then you go log into your Creator Studio, go to your audience tab, and then you'll see that information there so you can see what I mean. In addition to that, You can publish across platforms. So when it comes to long form, you can publish across platforms, but it's a little bit different because, the most of the platforms now are vertical with the exception of YouTube, at least the ones that are, worthwhile. And because of that, when you are making a piece of vertical content, it's appropriate for, TikTok, for Instagram Reels, for, Clapper, for anywhere that you want to put that vertical content, which is fantastic. So you make it once and then you can publish it and distribute it, across all of these social media networks. So now let's talk about stats. So when it comes to stats, what's going on, Doug? Hope you're doing great. Monique, nice to see you in here. Robloxini, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. So when it comes to shorts, over 175 million users in the US are using shorts. Over 200 billion daily active users. So that is per month. That is active viewers of YouTube Shorts. And I think I duplicated that one. Yeah, I did. So over 200 billion daily views on YouTube Shorts. So there's a lot of eyeballs there. More than 10% of YouTube's total watch time comes from YouTube Shorts. So what that tells us is that even though a lot of people are like, hey, Shorts is only for fill in the blank, or people, don't have attention spans, things like that. Well, they've got attention spans. They just might not spend it in some cases on one long video compared to flipping through different videos, but they have the attention span to hang out in shorts and collect tons of watch time for YouTube. In addition to that, 72% of YouTube users watch shorts. So what that means is if you are somebody that's been on the fence thinking that your viewers are not there, your viewers are there, right? In almost every case, regardless of the type of content that you're making, the people that are watching your videos are also in YouTube Shorts. They're either getting there through one of the ways that YouTube is making it available for us on homepages, suggested videos, search, and so on, or they're hopping right into the Shorts feed and they are directly going in and searching YouTube Shorts. This is a really interesting one, and this is also really important for people to know when it comes to YouTube Shorts. Channels, and YouTube put this one out. So they say that channels that use Shorts plus long form content grow 41% faster than channels that just use long form content. Now, my theory on why this is the case is because that same exact thing that I mentioned, right? So when it comes to getting attention from long form content, there's just so much involved there, right? And if somebody's in long form mode in their brain and they're watching videos that are 5 to 15 minutes each, and then they spend their time on YouTube watching, let's say 3 videos or 4 videos, then in that case, there's not a huge opportunity there for, for many channels to grow. It's just those few videos that they watch. But when it comes to YouTube Shorts, they're just going through them. Nope, not for me, not for me. Not, ooh, I like this one. Oh yeah, I'm going to subscribe, to this one. So it just makes it easier for the users of YouTube to also engage with what it is that you're doing. In addition to that, Shorts make more money for YouTube per watch hour than long form content. Now, this is a big deal. And the reason that this is a big deal is because we've all experienced how YouTube is, pretty much cramming shorts at us, and it starts to make sense why. So per watch hour, basically per hour of YouTube that people are watching long form content, short form content, and so on, they are making more money. YouTube is per watch hour than long form on shorts. So because of that, it's logical to be like, hey, why is YouTube pushing shorts? Well, they're pushing shorts because of this, right? Because that's where they're making the most money. So when it comes to YouTube pushing shorts, I'm sure you've seen this. So you can't log into YouTube on a computer, on a mobile app, anywhere, on a TV. You cannot get into YouTube anywhere without seeing shorts. And they are pushing it so hard that people even make like plugins and extensions and all that stuff for different browsers to try to get away from shorts. Because if you're somebody that has been trying to avoid shorts for any amount of time, and you hit the little 3-dot menu that's up in the top right-hand corner of that short shelf, or that grid right there, and you say, no, I don't, not interested in this, don't show them to me, that might hold for, a page load or two, but then they're right back at you trying to show you shorts again. So when it comes to YouTube pushing this on us, it's because they're making money. Same thing goes in suggested videos, right? So here, compared to long form, you see people talking about losing views on the long form and stuff. So in addition to the thumbnail sizes and all those types of things, you also have things like this where all of these different grids that would normally have long form content, they don't have them anymore, right? Some of these grids are being taken up by the shorts displays that they are putting out. Same thing when it comes to suggested videos. On some page loads, you'll see, the next up video. But in a lot of page loads, you see them also trying to bring attention to shorts over in YouTube sidebar. So the same thing applied where before somebody be watching a video and then they see just other long form videos over on the side and they're like, oh, hey, let me go watch one of those. And they click on that. Well, scaled out across YouTube, that makes a really big difference. So now, because they are putting these shorts in all of these premier positions on YouTube, users are responding to it. And users are responding to it. 72% of users on YouTube are watching shorts, like I just mentioned, and YouTube is making more money there. So this isn't going to stop. It's going to keep happening, and it's probably going to start happening even more at scale across different features. Even in YouTube search right now, you can go into YouTube search and search for pretty much anything. And either at the very top or within a scroll, you're going to see another shorts display there where they are still trying to get people into YouTube shorts. So for the channels that, like mine, for example, I used to lean really heavily into YouTube search. And, I still do sometimes. But when it comes to, search, ask yourself, would you prefer, right? And, everybody's a little bit different here, but would you prefer to watch a YouTube short that's going to answer your question that you're searching for in 3 minutes or less, in most cases, a minute or less? Or are you going to click on a 15-minute video where it takes the same amount of time for somebody to watch an entire short than it does for the creator in that long form video just to get through their hook and their intro and the little story build up on why, they went through this experience before they learned how to make this cake or whatever the thing it is that you're searching for, right? So when it comes to this, it's taking over in these areas as well. But as content creators, at least content creators that evolve with these types of things, we can leverage this stuff. So the whole idea, and the reason I wanted to show you in terms of where YouTube is pushing viewers, is because if they are pushing viewers into those places, in addition to any long form content that you're making, doesn't make sense for you to be where they are pushing viewers, right? So of course, your long form, if you make long form, you want to keep doing that. But if you've been stuck and you're like, hey, I don't know if shorts is right for me, or I've just been holding off on shorts because I don't think my viewers are there, or I just don't see any advantages, then in that case, you're like, if you imagine a highway, and on that highway, they're just funneling the traffic down into one lane. Well, you can keep driving straight and run into all the cones, maybe run off the road, or you can hop over, follow the funnel, and get to exactly where it is that YouTube is pushing people to. And I know that wasn't a fantastic analogy. I just made that up on the spot. So, we're just rolling with this. So now let's talk about how to leverage YouTube Shorts. So when it comes to YouTube Shorts, because of the advantages, I just mentioned here about the search targeted shorts. So when you are somebody, let's say you are a content creator that is trying to bring attention to something as an affiliate, or let's say that you are a content creator that has their own products to sell, or let's say that you are a content creator that is a business owner and you're trying to generate leads and sales and all of that around the questions that people are looking for around the type of content that you make. Even in this case, right, we have Robloxini brain rot in here. And with Robloxini, since they make Roblox content, I'm just going to put this, up here on the chat real quick, or on the screen, so you know what I'm talking about. So, in this case right here with Roblox, they can make shorts on everything that people search for around Roblox. And when they do that, they're giving themselves the opportunity to be one of those short results that YouTube is prioritizing right now on YouTube. So you can do that same exact thing to bring attention to the things that you're trying to bring attention to, or to just get in front of the people that you're actually trying to reach on YouTube. So in this screenshot right here, some channels, when it comes to shorts, not all, a lot of channels, it's just dominated by the shorts feed. Some will be a lot more heavy in browse, but in this example right here, this one is dominated by YouTube search. So over the last 28 days, not all, but most of the traffic coming into shorts for this channel is YouTube search traffic, right? So because of that, you can also leverage that when it comes to bringing attention to your YouTube channel. And again, in addition to having it search targeted, all you have to do is hop into YouTube autocomplete. I'll just show you how to do this really quick so we can be tactical here in addition to everything else. And let me see if I can do this without breaking my screen here. Okay, good. I can share both. Good. So how you do this in terms of YouTube search is you just go up here to the search bar and you start typing in things around your niche. So in this case, I'm going to do Roblox because we gave Robloxini as the example here. So here we see Roblox story, Roblox song, Roblox executor, edits, rant, rival, shaders, Igor, Brookhaven, games, movie, and so on. So we see these things that people are looking for. Then we hit A. Roblox ASMR, anime, apology video, avatar ideas, age verification. Okay, so we're starting to get in some good stuff. Avatar ideas, they could make a video on that. Roblox avatars, ASM games. I don't know anything actually about Roblox, so I'm just kind of winging what I, like the things, but Roblox brainwatt in here, they would know. But and then we backspace and we hit B and we see Roblox brain rot. Look at that. We see Bluxburg, boxing beta, bully story, bed wars, baddies, and we just keep going through this, right? So no. So Gina says, isn't search tailored to your own account? Search results are, but the autocomplete is not. So the autocomplete is what people, and this is answering this question right here. So the autocomplete is what people are actively looking for on YouTube. And you can do the same exact thing on Google as well. And you can also do fillers like, let's see, we do Roblox and then we do tips and then same thing, space, tips and tricks, all these things. Do A, right? We get all these, go back, do B. You can do how to Roblox. Same exact thing. You go through the alphabet with this also. We do it again and we say Roblox how to just to see, if anything different happens, which it does. And then we start going through the alphabet again. So one of the ways that you can bring attention to your channel using this with YouTube Shorts is you can make videos about things that people are looking for. And what you want to do is before you do that is you do want to hop into YouTube, go into incognito mode, and you want to, inside of your Google Chrome browser, whatever browser you have, go into incognito mode, and then you go and put in the search terms that you're thinking about making videos about, and then it's going to tell you if there is a search, or not tell you, but it's going to show you if YouTube Shorts are there. I'm going to show you something else too, which is pretty cool. So I'm just kind of loading it up here on my end. And another advantage of Shorts is this right here. So a lot of people think that when it comes to search related things that it only applies to YouTube, but in reality, it also applies to Google, right? So if we scroll on the page here, we see mostly long form videos. However, we see here that we've got some, shorter content. Some of it is on Reddit, but we do have a YouTube video here as well. But if you come here, it has short videos. If we click on this, then now we also start to see a lot of YouTube results here. So for the people that are using Google in this way, and they're trying to bring attention, or they're trying to find, these different, Roblox solutions, then this gives you the opportunity to show up in those areas as well. So when it comes to using Shorts as a way to leverage YouTube search, it's a really good way to not have to put in a lot of effort and be able to show up for those results when people are looking for them. Home Rapid Repair, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. So as we keep on going, so we have, let's see here. So last episode's clip sort is from May 2025, not a critic. Just want to understand how this works. I'm not sure what you mean by sort. Oh, the short on their channel. Yeah, they're actually getting ready to start publishing to Shorts soon also. We were actually on a call about that just the other day. So keep an eye on their Shorts page, and they are going to be publishing Shorts there as well. So next up, when it comes to leveraging Shorts, just bringing awareness to your channel in general. So for those of you that that came in here late, one of the things that I was mentioning about YouTube Shorts compared to long form content is that 72% of YouTube users are there. There are over 200 billion daily views in YouTube Shorts. And because of that, it's a great way to also just bring attention to your channel. And it also doesn't require as much skill in terms of you might make videos, long form videos, and you have trouble getting people to click on them, right? Because maybe you're new and you're still learning how to package your videos, or maybe you haven't learned how to write compelling titles or come up with really good video ideas yet where people, feel like they want to click on those ideas. Where YouTube Shorts, they just show up and happen to people. So it's a great way to also connect with people that might not have been exposed to you at all if the only thing that YouTube was showing to them or the only thing that you were making was the long form content. In addition to that, it's great for practicing your hooks when it comes to videos, because when it comes to long form, because there is so much involved there, you have to put in tons of effort, and then you get the result after you publish that video that might take you, a couple of days, a week, however long it is to make, compared to let me just, make some quick shorts that I can use to learn how to grab people's attention better, or just to practice what works for grabbing people's attention. In addition to that, you can also use it as a way to check interest in different content. So let's say, for example, that you have the staple things that you make. Like, let's say that you are a gaming channel, for example, or a channel that makes, videos about a very specific thing. And you're like, okay, I want to test and see if I just start putting out some content about a different game, if algorithmically the people who thinks that YouTube or that my channel is a good fit for them, if these people will respond to, these shorts on this slightly still targeted towards your avatar, but just a little bit off, right? See if they respond. And if you do that and then you get good responses there, then that is the green light to go ahead and make it also for long form content, like a deeper video on it, so that you can serve those people, but you've also verified that people are interested in that. You just have to, make sure that you package it right. In addition to that, you also have YouTube Shopping Affiliate. So when it comes to the money side of YouTube, if you are in YouTube's partner program and you use their shopping affiliate program, then you actually get a little icon on the screen. And, in some cases, some actual, text and like a little preview of the items that you're talking about in your videos, where you can tag those videos and people can go and they can start those or initiate those purchases directly from the short shelf. So you can also use this as a way to make money. So in addition to what it is that you're getting from long form content, if you make shorts, you might be thinking, well, the ad rates aren't, that much and all that stuff, which if you get a lot of views, can still add up. But when it comes to the shopping side, of YouTube Shorts, that in some cases can actually end up making you more than you might make on a long form video via ads. And I don't think I put it into the slide here, but also when it comes to YouTube Shorts, those are additional brand opportunities for you, for those of you that, do brand deals and that sort of thing. Those are additional opportunities because in addition to whatever it is that you're offering in your long form content, you also now have all of these additional assets, this whole other thing that you're doing that's targeting like a same viewer, but in a different viewing experience that you can also offer to the brands that you work with or new brands than you work with. And really quick, this is a really good question. I'm going to answer this before we move on. It says, do you think shorts are better now than long videos? I think that it depends on the goal that you have for your YouTube channel. So for example, long form still where it's at. If you're trying to, grow communities, things like that. But even there, you have people that have broken outside of that, unicorns to where they've done exceptional when it comes to personal brand building, like Jenny Hoyas, for example, right? To where, she came in on shorts, dominated shorts, and that was her thing. And how she got known is through YouTube Shorts. But for a lot of creators that don't make that super high level content, then long form is still where it's at in terms of, nurturing relationships and affiliate sales and bringing attention to things and all that stuff. But shorts is also an opportunity that is something that you definitely should not not do. So yeah, so definitely consider YouTube Shorts. In addition to that, if you sell anything, right? So if you have personal products, you're trying to generate leads, anything like that, YouTube Shorts is also a fantastic way to do that. Because one, again, you get to make one short distributed across all the different platforms. So you get that extra distribution. But in addition to that, if you're trying to bring attention to something that nobody knows about, then making a video about that thing that nobody knows about, well, not a lot of people are going to click on that unless you nail the packaging. And by packaging, I mean your thumbnail and title. However, when it comes to a YouTube short, because they just show up there, you can make similar videos and just really practice. Okay, they didn't respond well at the beginning of this one, so let me do another video where I say, where I change what I say at the beginning and then lead them into the thing that I'm trying to bring attention to. And it's just a great way to be able to bring attention to things that you're trying to bring attention to in a very efficient way in comparison, to long form. Now, when it comes to shorts mistakes, shorts are great. A lot of opportunities there. And one thing that I didn't mention here also, I did. I mentioned the brand deal thing. So when it comes to shorts mistakes, the very first short mistake is having them featured on your YouTube channel page. So I think I added the graphic here. I did. So I added them to my channel page just so you could see this example, right? So, and I took them off immediately. So if you are a content creator that is trying to get monetized, you're trying to get in the partner program, or you're just trying to get people, that are navigating your main YouTube channel to watch your long form content, so you can get the watch times, you can get the views on the long form videos that you're putting all your energy to and all that, then in that case, do not put your shorts on your homepage. YouTube has the button right up at the very top, or the navigation item for people that are actively using shorts, to where if somebody goes to your channel page and they want to see your shorts, they can click on that button, right? They can click on that shorts button. However, when somebody lands on your channel page, either they shared a link, right? Somebody shared a link somewhere on the internet directly to your channel page. They searched for your channel name and they found you in YouTube search by your channel icon and they came in that way. Or they were watching one of your long form videos. And when they click on your username after they watch a long form video, then they go to your main channel page. So if they're watching a short and they click on your channel name, they go to a shorts page on your YouTube channel, right? So they're not going to your main channel page, they're going to the shorts version. So because of that, if somebody's engaged in long form, or somebody's recommending you on social media, things like that, and they're entering your channel that way, keep them into the long form content, because per view, that's where you make more money when it comes to ad revenue. That's where you can nurture relationships the strongest, right? And if you're trying to get in the partner program, that's where you're going to collect the watch time, right? Because if you're trying to get monetized through shorts, you can do it, but you need a lot more views. In addition to that, when it comes to your shorts, also do not use if you upload shorts to your YouTube channel, do not use best for viewer or most recent in your end screens. The reason for that is because when it comes to people getting to the end of your YouTube videos, one of the most powerful things you can do for your YouTube channel to increase the likelihood that YouTube's going to recommend your videos to people that are already interacting with your long form content is when people get to the end of your video, don't ask them to subscribe, don't do any of that stuff. Instead, think about another video on your YouTube channel or a playlist on your YouTube channel that would be a perfect fit for that viewer. Then, as your video is coming to an end, before you say things like, and that's how you, or that's why I, or that concludes our trip to, or any of those finalizing things, have an end screen element show up on the screen that is relevant to the viewer, right? In terms of they're watching this video on fill in the blank. And because of that, you can that proves that they would likely be interested in this other video that you have. But as you're coming to the end of the video, tell them, and this is just the start of it. I actually have a deeper dive on this thing, that you can check out, right here, and lead them into that video. Or you can simply say, hey, if you enjoyed this video, I have a lot more like it. You can click, into this playlist right here. Or like in the case of, home rapid repair, hey, these, this is your, this bathroom, video, helped you in any way, or this, toilet video on how to fix your toilet, then, I have a whole playlist that will help you with everything that you got to get fixed up in your bathroom, right? And then you send people into that video or playlist. That's the best thing that you can do at the very end of your video. So because of that, you do not want to have the best for viewer most recent there, because if you do, then YouTube will send them into the short self. And then again, you miss that opportunity for higher ad rates, things like that. And then it's really easy once they get in the short shelf for people to, lose track of you. So just be careful there. In addition to that, just underestimating what shorts can do for you. Like a lot of people really dump on YouTube shorts, and they say things like, the attention spans are bad, or that their viewers aren't in YouTube shorts, or, anything like that. And in reality, again, 72% of the viewers on YouTube are watching YouTube shorts. over 200 billion daily views. I think it was like 170 something million, just in the United States. So when it comes to, what shorts can do for you and your YouTube channel, definitely do not underestimate them. And one thing I want to bring to your attention, because we are here on the Opus Clip channel. If you're not familiar with Opus Clip, it's a tool that lets you like for example, this live stream that you're watching right now, like with Opus Clip, like I mean, they are going to take this live stream, drop it into their tool, and it's going to make a bunch of shorts, and then they can then publish them to their other accounts. They can publish them here on their YouTube channel and so on. So I'm going to show you something. So I have another channel that just over the last 28 days. So basically with this, we use Opus Clip, and it's the only content that's being published to the channel, and we publish a daily video over there. And as a part of that, just in the last 28 days from just publishing it over there, and this is all just scheduling everything, directly out, I've been able to get in front of 35,000 people in total, 17.7 thousand people that actually engaged in the video, that actually watched it for a fair enough amount of time. And I got 27 subscribers to the YouTube channel. And all of this isn't on my main channel. This is on a completely different channel that I made for the purpose of repurposing my live streams. Back in the day, I used to pay an editor to do this for like longer form content. And then he ended up, going and doing something else. So because of that, I just let this channel lay dormant. So when Opus Clip came around, I'm like, hey, let me, let's see, let's put this thing to the test. And because of that, I've been able to get my face, which if you're somebody that is, trying to build your brand on the internet, the more people that see you, and especially if you're giving them good content, either their tips or they're being entertained by it or whatever the thing is, every person that sees you is a win, right? So because of that, that's gotten me in front of 17,000 people just in the last 28 days, because I didn't do the long screenshot, but just in the last 28 days, this has gotten me in front of an extra 17,000 people just from Opus Clip automatically pulling my clips in. We go in and we select, what clips to go out, and then scheduling them for the YouTube channel. So just keep that in mind when it comes to, one way that you can use Opus Clip to expand whatever it is that you are, whatever it is that you're doing. And if you're not familiar with me, my name's Nick. I help content creators like you thrive on YouTube. You can find out more about me at nicknimmin.com. But when it comes to YouTube Shorts, I got a link to my channel down in the description as well, where I also help, content creators with all this stuff. But when it comes to YouTube Shorts, it's really important just to remember that this is, an opportunity on YouTube. And, just like long form content is an opportunity, just like live streaming is an opportunity for those of you that, that pursue that, Shorts is just one more place where you can reach people. Like when it comes to, all of the major like networks and, all of that, all the major brands on the internet, everybody's using everything. And actually people are using Shorts a lot more than they're using live streams, because, not everybody's comfortable live streaming. So because of that, it's a huge opportunity right now. And if you can, and if you have the, bandwidth to do it, either make custom shorts for what it is that you're doing, meaning, you open up your phone and you just talk to your audience. Make sure on YouTube that you are publishing shorts so that it doesn't work against you. Make sure that you are publishing shorts that your viewers of your long form content, that they would likely enjoy. So for example, if you make videos about Roblox, make sure that your shorts have something to do with Roblox. If you make videos about teaching people how to cook, make sure that your shorts are something about teaching people how to cook. If you make videos about, how to write books and how to self-publish, then in that case, make sure that your shorts are about self-publishing, right? So you make sure that it aligns. And by doing that, this is a whole other audience, if you're not currently making YouTube Shorts, that you are going to be able to tap into to help you grow your brand and your channel on YouTube. And for those of you that aren't monetized, going through this process will also slowly get people, over to your YouTube channel. And one thing I want to get clear on is a lot of people, when it comes to shorts, they have this mission of, hey, or this problem where they say, people that watch my shorts aren't watching my long form content. Sometimes that's the case. That's absolutely the case sometimes. But when it comes to shorts, because of the nature of it, in terms of people are swiping, swipe, swipe. Oh, this is interesting. Swipe, right? Because of the nature of it, it's important to think of YouTube Shorts at scale, right? So don't look at it like, okay, well, I got, 1,000 views on this short, engaged views. So I got 1,000 engaged views on this short. Therefore, I should have, 1,000 people that are responding to like my long form content. Doesn't work that way. Instead, think of it like, okay, so for every lots of people that my content is in front of, some of those people are going to be like, wow, this is really good. Or, hey, I really enjoyed this. Or that was funny. Or, hey, I just learned something. And they're going to explore my YouTube channel. So it's not going to happen, with every single viewer that comes through there, but at scale, you're going to have some people coming over. But instead of the goal being, let me get them to my long form content as fast as possible, instead of that being the goal, think of it through the lens of, this is where they're at. And if this is where they're at, they hopped into YouTube Shorts because either they opened up their app and they went into the feed, or another short that YouTube put in front of them somewhere led them into the feed, but now they're there. So because of that, let me make sure that I'm meeting them where they are, and that I'm at least publishing shorts on a somewhat regular basis or regular basis to my YouTube channel. And by doing that, you're going to give yourself the highest opportunity to do what, the information that YouTube put out about channels growing, I think it was 41% faster that are using long form plus shorts. It's going to give you that opportunity to do that. So if anybody has any questions about anything it is that we talked about here, now is the time to ask. And again, for those of you, that might have just joined, my name is Nick. I help content creators like you thrive on YouTube. You can find out more about me at nicknimmin.com, or you can go to my channel that's linked down in the description, or just look for Nick Nimmin on YouTube, and then my stuff will come up. So I did see a question come in, and the very first one says, Dr. Vibe Show, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing great. Says, for example, say that YouTube says that most of your viewers are on the specific times a day. Would it be a good idea to publish YouTube Shorts in each of those specific time slots? Yeah. So you can publish shorts. It's best practice to publish shorts when your viewers are online. Same exact thing for going live. Same exact thing for publishing videos. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if you publish at that time that it's going to guarantee anything. But what you're doing is you're saying, okay, I'm going to publish this. And since my viewers are online, YouTube's going to show it to them. And therefore, I'm going to be able to get some feedback really quick on if this is a good video or not. So then later in the day when I go, or later at night when I go to bed, then I'll at least have some confidence knowing that, hey, people are responding well to this, or you'll be bummed out, knowing that they're not. So regardless of what it is that you're publishing, you want to make sure that you're publishing when your viewers are online. But again, that doesn't, the publish time itself doesn't necessarily impact the long-term performance of the content. So if it's long form, if it's a live stream, if it's, YouTube Shorts, the publish time, if it's a good video, then as, people start responding to it, then YouTube's going to keep showing it to people if they're having a positive response. Let's see here. So right here we have Robloxy says 5.7 million shorts views in the last 7 days, split on my 2-man channels, only clipping with Opus. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, your results are much better than mine on that. Let's see here. Does it make sense to upload long form videos as separate parts on shorts, like a lot of people do it on TikTok? Yeah, absolutely. You can do if what you're saying is uploading. Taking your long form video, clipping it up, and then uploading little parts that way. So then that way it's ratio correct for the platforms. Then yes, that's a good move. Even if you're not doing shorts, the other platforms, there's time limitations. TikTok is a little bit more generous, but there is time limitations when it comes to just taking your raw long form video in 16:9 aspect ratio and uploading that to other platforms. So because of that, clipping just makes it feel more appropriate, for each platform. And it also keeps you within the time limits, because with Opus Clip, you can say, I only want clips that are, under a minute long, or you can say, I only want clips that are, 3 minutes and under. Or if you're doing mid form, because Opus Clip will also clip mid form 16:9 aspect ratio content. So because of that, you can also say, I only want videos that are, or I only want it to clip 10 minutes or less. And then it'll do that. I think the limit on that is up to 15 minutes. Any word on the schedule on Opus allowing us to link the full video for YouTube Shorts? I'm not sure. I wish I had an answer for you on that one, but I'm not sure on that one in terms of if that's already available or not. I would just check in your account, and I'll definitely give them a nudge, because they'll watch this stream anyway, so they'll see the thing. But I'll definitely shoot them a message and see what's going on with that. Make a note here really quick. Any word on the scheduler and Opus? scheduler in Opus allowing full length to video for shorts. Yeah, I'll nudge them on that. So when it comes to posting 1 to 3 videos per day, so it really depends. So one thing to think about is the YouTube notifications. So in a lot of cases, the notifications don't even matter. But when it comes to notifications, YouTube limits their notifications to 3 per 24-hour period for a channel. So with shorts, like you don't have to worry about that at all. But when it comes to long form content, they limit that. And that includes live streams. So because of that, when you are publishing long form, you want to limit it to that 3, or you just prioritize the ones that you want the notifications to go out for. That's why they have the little notify subscribers, but that's only for notifications. That doesn't have an impact on who YouTube is recommending your content to. So even if you click that to not send it to your subscribers or whatever, to not notify your subscribers, it'll still show up on the home pages and suggested videos and subscription feed of the people that that YouTube thinks, is a good fit for your content, or the people that have, already enjoyed your content. But when it comes to shorts, yeah, a lot of people will do like 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 at night. You could do, one, you could do that, and then you could squeeze one, in the middle if you want. Some people upload lots of shorts, but the thing that you just want to be careful of is making sure that the shorts that you are uploading are different enough to where if you are flooding YouTube with them, that YouTube doesn't, mark you as like a spammer or something like that. So that's why people try to throttle it that way, so that they can, make sure that they're, being responsible and not being flagged for spam or something. Let's see here. Seeing traction from that. Did YouTube change their shorts algorithm? My views dropped to under 200 and 300, then went back up to 1,200. So one thing to think about when it comes to YouTube is their algorithms are constantly evolving. So, all of the different algorithms that they have that run YouTube, everything is constantly evolving. From time to time, they do like major updates. But even with that, good content continues to do well, which is probably why you're getting back up to, 1,200. So if, that even, went down, because in addition to their platform constantly evolving based on, how people are interacting with all the content, you also have to keep in mind that, tons of content is uploaded to YouTube like every minute. So because of that, their system has to take all of that content in, and then they're testing all of that content. And then out of that content, some content is going to be high performers. So if out of all the content that's published in that minute, or let's say over the course of 10 minutes, out of all that content is being published, out of all of the high performers that you have, well, the content that's already out there or the new content that's coming in, it's going to have to be able to compete with those high performers. And if it doesn't, for the audiences that, YouTube is showing your content to. And then if it doesn't, then YouTube is going to continue to, to prioritize that content that is the high performing. So it's kind of like a big competition, so to speak. And because of that, if your videos just don't compete with what's happening in YouTube in that moment, then in that case, it can cause your views to drop. That's why you'll see or hear a lot of people talk about like seasonality on YouTube and things like that. And it's because you have literal seasonality, meaning if you make baseball content, then you have baseball season. You got to come up with other things to do in the off season. But when it comes to seasonality on YouTube for channels, what it is, sometimes, there's just a lot of high performing content out there that hasn't been saturated yet in terms of enough, like everybody's seeing it. And because of that, a bunch of really good videos are just kind of carrying the weight, or a handful of channels, are carrying a lot of the weight in a niche and things like that. So, but there's always an opportunity, right? But because it's a big competition, those types of things can impact people. So uploading your video. So this is a myth on YouTube. So you'll see this type of thing mentioned when it comes to, you'll see some YouTube help channels that say, outlandish things like this. And when it comes to that, YouTube knows everything it needs to know about your video after it's done in processing. So you do want to upload it as unlisted. And the reason that you want to upload it as unlisted is because that gives YouTube time to, one, scan the video, understand everything about it. And all of this happens as you're uploading your video. But it scans the video, it sees frame by frame, everything that's happening in there. It's recording every word that's being said, all of those things. And then it also re-encodes the video into like different sizes, things like that. And then it also, starts distributing it across, their network, their CDNs. So because of that, uploading it as unlisted. And then by the time you add your title to it and, your description and fill out all the other things that you got to fill out for your video, upload your thumbnail if it's long form, then in that case, by the time all that stuff's done, your video is going to be good to go and you can go ahead and make it public. Yeah, no, Rapid Repair says he's had videos go straight up in views after a year. Never give up. Absolutely. What are the best practices to organize postings in Opus or outside, such as Sheets or Excel? So for that, you can schedule publishing directly out of Opus Clip. You don't even have to do that if you don't want to. But if you do, then in that case, you can download your Opus clips directly to your computer. And then from there, logging them into a spreadsheet of what's been published, what hasn't been published. For me, I use Monday.com for that. I'm not a huge fan of them, by the way. It's just I'm used to using it. But other people will use, like I use Monday.com. Some people use Trello for that. Other people use Airtable for that. Because they have, in addition, you can do this in Excel too, but it's just a little bit cleaner in some of these other platforms. In terms of progress and all that. And if you have other people working with you, then of course, you can add them as, team members and all these other things. But you have Airtable, and then you also have Notion. So those are, some of the more popular ones that you can use for that. I think where they're at. Okay. So that was you guys talking there. Yeah. Use Trello. How would I do it? Yeah. I'm not sure. I use Trello, but not for YouTube Shorts. So when it comes to like on the channel that we're doing where we're publishing daily, on that one, we basically download them, upload them, or they're being scheduled directly through Opus Clip, depending on, who's doing what. So because of that, like I'm not using any of that stuff for that. For my main content, I inside of Trello, then you would just have, basically the ideas section, and then you'd move those ideas. And this is just an idea, right? In terms of how to structure that for regular content or long form content, is you would have like an idea column, and then you would have a commitment column, which would be a commitment to a thumbnail and title, right? Because you want to make sure you're thinking about your thumbnail and title before you actually commit to making the video to make sure you can package it properly. And then after that, you have it to, like a, thumbnail created, and then yes or no, or just have the main video container, and then you would have thumbnail created. And then from there, you would have, script or bullet points written. And then you would have the next one would be like recorded. And then after recorded, then you could have, ready for edit. And then if you're editing yourself, then that would be the one that you go to and, to edit at scale. And then after that, if it's somebody else doing the edit, then you'd have like a for approval section. And then after that for approval, and then you would have like ready to publish and then published after that. That would be. And I'm just kind of brainstorming that based on how I remember Trello working, because I used to use Trello for a podcast. So because of that, that's how I remember Trello working. So that would be a rough idea of just like an initial starting setup, and I would run through that, see if it worked well for me, and if not, I would make adjustments along the way. Are you going to introduce Snapchat to Opus Clip? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they have that on their roadmap or not when it comes to Opus Clip for introducing Snapchat. I think they should. But the problem with some of these things is because I also make, some tools for creators also. And when it comes to some of the limitations with things like Snapchat, I don't know what they have available in their API, or if they have an API at all. If they do have an API, I don't know if it allows for auto publishing, that kind of stuff. So, with some of these things, there are limitations on the actual platforms themselves. But if they do have it open and all that stuff, I'm sure it's probably somewhere on the roadmap for Opus Clip, because they're trying to make all that stuff easy for people. And Imperial Remnant says, Ali Abdul has Notion templates too that are a great jump off point. Yeah, for organizing content. Yeah, inside of Monday.com, how we have it is we have like the date column, we have the content column, and then we have the, because I'm, like when it comes to YouTube, being like hyper intentional about everything that you do is really important. So because of that, we have one category that's a drop down in terms of, like what is the purpose of this video? And then, we'll assign, whatever that happens to be. And then you assign the editor to it. And then we have the publish date set. And then they always return the videos, relatively quick. And then after that, they have the approval. And then there's also where they drop the actual link itself. If we're not using Frame. So when I have somebody manually edit shorts, we use frame.io for that. But when it comes to Monday, like that editor's so good that like we usually don't have to make many changes. So because of that, he just puts the link there. And then I put either another drop down that is like ready to publish or needs a revision. And then from there, it just gets caught in that loop from the, okay, published a new link, check it out. Okay, it's ready to go, or it needs a revision. And then we just kind of stay in that loop. Let's see here. So tell YouTube to pay me by my views, not engaged views. It's so sad seeing the difference when people have been their shorts journey. Well, here's the thing though. Here's the important thing to think about YouTube and how they measure things on the platform. So because of TikTok and Instagram, because people would see views happening on TikTok and they would think that they're real views, people would say like, man, I'm getting all these views over on TikTok, but I'm not getting anything on YouTube. So then now YouTube's like, okay, well, we're going to measure things same way TikTok is. And that means that a regular view is pretty much an impression. So that means it just showed up. And then for the people that kept watching for just long enough, that's where it switches over into an engaged view. Where with TikTok, they don't have that. Well, on TikTok, it's just like, hey, here's an impression. Some people saw it. And then, from there, that's it. But with YouTube, they have the engaged views that are basically saying like, this is a qualified view. Instead of it just being an impression. Like Doug mentioned right here, they've always paid by engaged views. They just displayed the information differently than compared to how they display it now. But yeah, like that whole thing, I know a lot of people have been, frustrated by that. Just because, like it's, people want that, like you see that big number and you're like, man, I want to cash in on that big number, not on the smaller one. Right. So there's all of that. All right. So on that note, if you're not subscribed to the Opus Clip channel yet, make sure that you do. In addition to that, if you're not an Opus Clip user, make sure that you go to opusclip.com, check it out so you can see how it can help you get a lot more out of your content, even, using it to either on YouTube itself or using it to create an additional channel where you're repurposing like your live streams into a bunch of shorts, or, let's say you want to start that TikTok account that you haven't had the time to do. Opus Clip makes all of those types of things possible. So check it out at opusclip.com. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Hit the like button on your way out, and I will see you next time.